So a lot of competitive Splatoon players say that Splat Zones is by far the best mode. And while I agree and have explanations for it, whenever I get asked why Splat Zones is the best mode, I go to look up a YouTube video to send them, and there really never was a video for that. So here it is, why Splat Zones is by far the best mode in Splatoon 3. In a nutshell, Splat Zones is a King of the Hill-esque mode, but you don't need to actively stay on the hill. This is good because it incentivizes players to push past the zone to make it harder on the other team, which in turn can lead to a slip-up, which would allow the opposing team to get back in. You may be curious on why players don't just sit in the zone, and the reason why players don't do that is because it's bad. To put it in logic and reasoning, it's bad because if players sit inside the zone and die, their ink that explodes when dying will paint the zone as well. Players not pushed up past the zone make it to where the defending team can easily contest and paint the zone. To put it all together, Splat Zones is a very good mode that incentivizes you to push up together to contest the zone, push past the objective to take fight/area, and to play smart of knowing how far to go. So we know Splat Zones is a good mode, but how does it make it the best mode? The reason is that all the other modes have huge noticeable flaws that become more noticeable the higher of level you play. This is why top players prefer zones-only tournaments. The reason behind all the other modes being bad boils down to the map design, and some smaller details. First, let's talk about the worst mode, Tower Control. Tower Control, as I mentioned, is the worst mode because the maps are not the best for it. It's boring to ride the tower, and it also has a very bad mechanic of where the team riding the tower has passive special charge. See, in every other mode, the team in disadvantage gets passive special charge so that they have a better chance at retaking. This is the first flaw of Tower Control. The second one is the map layouts. All the maps are either favored in one side or the other. It's either extremely hard to push the tower past a certain area, or it's way too easy to push the tower. An example for it being too hard for the defenders is Flounder Heights, and an example of it being hard for the attackers is Museum de Alfonsino, both of which are because of elevation changes. The third and final reason why Tower Control is a bad mode is its entire gimmick, riding the tower. See, Tower Control is a payload game mode, and to put it simply, payload is boring. The person sitting on the tower has a small area they can sit on and move around on, and if your team is good enough at the game, you barely get any interactions with the enemy team because the rest of your team is too far pushed ahead. Now, let's get to Rainmaker. Rainmaker, the same as Tower Control, has issues with its map layouts, but for a different reason, stall areas. See, the Rainmaker has a 60-second timer, which by the way is 1/5 of the entire match, so you can get a lead to one early game and just stall in areas that the enemy team has a hard time getting to. Some situations more extreme than others. Museum. Rainmaker also has an issue with the Rainmaker paths. In most situations and maps you have one of two choices, and sometimes you don't even have the luxury of having two choices. As well, some choices are clearly better than others, and you don't go one path unless very specific scenarios. Another big issue with Rainmaker is that with the objective being so mobile, it limits what weapons can be used. For example, slower weapons may have a harder time because the objective is constantly moving. As well, some options are limited because of the Rainmaker shield being so important. If your weapon doesn't have high object damage, it will definitely be a detriment to your team eventually. Finally, the mode that isn't as bad as the other two but still leaks behind Splat Zones, Clam Blitz. Now it may come to a shock of some people that Clam Blitz is the second best mode, but really think about it. Clam Blitz rewards team play, and Splatoon is all about it. It may be annoying and slow cute, but this is for competitive play where players have callouts and are competent. The reason why I'm highlighting some good here, unlike Rainmaker and Tower Control, is because, to put it simply, Clam Blitz only has one major issue, its maps. See, in most situations, just the map being bad doesn't mean the mode will be bad too. But the maps for Clam Blitz are really bad. Take Mincemeat for example. You have only two routes to go to get to the basket. One is over the grates, which means you can't swim to it, and the other is a ramp that leads to the other team's spawn. But why do both lead to the other team's spawn? Because the basket is there. The clam basket in most maps is way into the other team's spawn, or simply in a bad spot. One other small issue with Clam Blitz is the clam spawns. In a lot of maps, the spawning of certain clam pods is kind of ridiculous, with them being so far out of the way and sometimes just in dumb areas. However, there is a certain hidden technique to make clam spawns better, but that will be another video's topic. If you've enjoyed this video, make sure to subscribe. I'm very close to 1,000 subscribers and I hope to hit it by the end of the year. As well, let me know what other videos you'd like to see in the comments below. Thank you all for your support as of lately, and as always my friends, take care of yourself. Have a good night. Hello, I'm Ezio, and you might not know what I look like, but it's kind of important for the next thing I want to talk about. I will be attending Riptide 2025. This is a Splatoon LAN in Ohio, and you can meet me there. You can meet me in person. It is September 5th to the 7th, I believe. I'll be corrected if I'm wrong in post. And yeah, I will be wearing this hat, and every single day on Blue Sky and Twitter, I will be updating you with what outfit I will be wearing. I hope to see you all there, and have a good day.